What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I am showing a tutorial on how I dye the tips of my hair and how I do maintenance. Because I thought this would be a fun video and it definitely needs some TLC, my hair. So the first step that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trim and then I'm going to dye my hair. The supplies that you'll need is some scissors for the trim. Obviously I'm using feathering shears, as you can see by this, but you can just use regular scissors if you don't have these. Some hair ties to hold up parts of your hair, something to part your hair. I'm using my tease comb, but you can use a lot of different things. And then obviously you're going to need some hair dye. I am using Strawberry Leopard Teal the Show. And then a brush. I have a big brush and a little brush. And then obviously you're going to need a dye bowl. Just got these for today specifically, but latex gloves. And then a hairbrush. Okay guys, the first thing I'm going to do is my trim. As you can see, I have a lot of split ends at the end, and I've changed how I'm going to go about this. I'm going to use regular scissors first to get rid of all the dead stuff, and then feathering shears so it doesn't look blunt. So I'll show you guys how I do that right now. Okay guys, my ends look so much better. Now I am going to do step one of the dyeing process, which is put on some gloves. So I'm going to go do that quickly. Okay guys, gloves are on. Next thing I'm going to do is brush through my entire head of hair to make sure there's no knots, nothing crazy, and to get any loose hair out of the ends that I just trimmed if it's still there. Okay guys, now I'm going to part and section my hair because obviously doing a big thick section with hair dye is very difficult and hard to manage. Okay guys, the next step is we're going to take our bowl and our dye and just put a little bit in. I don't know if I mentioned this, but make sure you are wearing clothes that you don't care too much about because this process will get messy. I put in a decent amount of dye, and I'm going to take my large brush and mix it a bit. Now that I've done that, I'm going to show you guys the first step on how I like to do this. Just going to tuck that behind my ear because I don't really dye those parts. I'm going to be looking at the mirror above here. But I'm going to be finding where I put the dye usually, which is right about here. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of it just to give a little example. And I drag it down all the way to the ends, then I turn it around. I think I did end up getting my short pieces, which is honestly fine. I don't care that much. And then once I do that, I'm going to work the dye through this section of hair. I'm just going to take this out because I totally dyed these parts. But you know, it's fine. I'm going to work through, make sure for me, it's pretty easy to spot where there's like missing sections because I'm blonde. I just saw one. So I'm going to apply more dye and then mix it in. And then I'll take 2 fingers, put at the top, and drag up to get a little bit of a blend and to make sure that it's not just blunt. It looks like a little bit of an ombre. So 2 fingers at the top and just go crazy like you're teasing. And then once that is done, you go to the next section. take little sections of the little section you already took. I'm going to show it one more time for you guys so you can see. Just going to find that spot. Take it all the way down. I used like no dye there, so I'm going to do it a little bit more. And then obviously turn it around, get the back. And it's okay if obviously like strands that you haven't done yet touch strands that you are working on, and it's also okay if strands that you're working on touch parts that you've already dyed. And you'll see why in a bit. I'm just gonna flip and mix this all up. I might have to move my setup because I kind of can't see what I'm doing, which is not good. Check for any missing strands. And then take your two fingers up to create that like blended look. And then just look, make sure all the dye is mixed in, and that's how you do it. Just take small sections, make sure that you're starting at the same point at the top of your hair, and just go through it. So I'm now gonna speed through it for you guys, because obviously it'd be boring to watch me do the rest of this, so see you guys in a sec. Okay guys, took off one of the gloves because I'm going to take down the rest of my hair. We got the small section done. And now it's time to bring down the rest. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, so now I'm going to bring it to the front. And I'm going to swing these parts to the back. I have my glove in this hand, so I'm just gonna lean so I can put that back there, but take the hair that needs to be dyed up front. And if you're wondering, oh, like what if there's a spot in the back, we will check. We'll make sure, because I'm gonna bring all the hair together once it is, once I do like this major section. But anyway, for the time being, I am just having, oh my goodness, this is too much right now. What is dyed and what is not dyed? Okay. Yes, okay. Alright, we're fixed. So anyway, now I am going to do basically the same process I did on this section I did with the previous section. So for a little recap, what you do is you take a small section. I wish my hair would like get out of the way. You take your dye, put it where the top is going to be for your ombre or your dye tips or whatever you want to call it. And then take your brush all the way down to the tips of your hair. Oh my goodness, I am going to need more hair dye. Make sure you get all sides, flip it if you need the back. I definitely do. I don't think that was very effective. But just use your brush and then your hands and work it through like this. Separate it to check or missing spots. Like I'm looking now, this is definitely not thorough enough. So I'm gonna get more dye. And you can obviously scrape the dye back into the bottle if you pull out too much. So just be mindful that you don't have to be sparse with the dye once you take it out of the bottle. Like, it is not the end-all be-all. If you squeeze it out, it doesn't mean it's not going to be good anymore. Anyway, just keep going, and then remember 2 fingers at the top, and then kind of like tease it to get a little bit of a blend. I see some spots that are scarce of dye over here, so I'm just gonna go back, flip the hair so I can get better access to the back. Contort yourself in all different positions to make sure you get all angles of the hair. Like I see right there, there's a patch that does not have dye. So I'm going in and then mixing it through, making sure it is just everywhere. 100% covering the hair in all areas. Making sure it's blended at the top so I don't look like 2 different colors and crazy. But anyway, that's a little recap. I am now going to do the other section of my hair. Okay guys, welcome back. I'm going to start the developing process, which means I'm going to leave it and let it sit. The dye bottle for this says 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to set a timer for 15 because I want it to be kind of light and I want to give time for me to like get in the shower, wash it off, etc. So I will see you guys when it's time to wash off. Hey guys, the timer just went off, so I'm going to wash all of this out. You might have noticed that my neck is extremely blue, and if you're wondering how are you gonna get that out of your skin, I've found that Strawberry Leopard is very forgiving when it comes to getting the dye on your skin. I feel like it comes off very easily with just some elbow grease in the shower. So I'm hoping I'll get some of this blue off because it is a lot worse in real life than it is on this camera. So we'll see. I'll be back when my hair is washed out and dried. Alright guys, ready for the reveal? Ta-da! Here is my refurbished hair. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video to see more content like this. Bye!